tell of Battle of Hastings has happened in days long gone by, when William became King of England and Harold got shot in eye. It happened one day in October, when Duke, who was always a top, having no battles on at moment, had given his lads day off. They'd all taken boats and gone fishing, when someone, Duke's here, said, "Here, let's go put breeze up Saxons." Said Duke, "By gum, that's idea." So calling his cohorts together, he raised up his big Norman voice. He said, "Hands up, who's coming to England?" That was swank, 'cause they hadn't no choice. They set off that day about tea time. The sea was so calm and so still, and about 10:30 next morning they arrived at a place called Bexhill. King Harold came up at that moment, his face full of venom and hate. He said, "If you've come for regatta, you've arrived just 6 weeks too late." To this Norman rose cool but haughty. He said, "We'll have less of your cheek. You'd best have your throne reupholstered. I'll be wanting to use it next week." King Harold, to this here defiance, his face turned purple and blue. He shouted some rude words in Saxon, to which William replied, "And you?" 'Twere a lovely day for a battle, and they all set off with a will. When both sides were duly assembled, they tossed up for top of hill. Now Saxons, they won the advantage, and didn't it make Harold look grand, sitting up there on the hilltop, on an horse with an hawk in his hand. To kick off was sharp at 2:30, and when the whistle had went, both sides started banging each other till swineherds could hear 'em in Kent. Though Saxons had best row of forwards, 'twere Normans that were better with sword. They also had best combinations, so at half-time neither had scored. Now during break William discussed tactics. He said, "Let's pretend that we're beat. We'll draw back, and when Saxons run after, we'll cut off their means of retreat." So they drew back, and Saxons ran after, leaving Harold alone in the land, sitting up there on Tilltop, on an horse with a hawk in his hand. Suddenly an archer ran forward, and with an arrow straight and true, he hit poor Harold in the eye. He were offside, but what could they do? With that, the battle were over. It left Harold alone in the land, sitting up there with an eyeful of arrow, on an horse with an hawk in his hand.